Hello everyone, this is ponderonweather coming at you with another update. And this update, we're going to be talking about a much calmer pattern for the rest of the week and a snowier and stormier pattern for next week. So before I do get started, if you do like weather-related content, please subscribe to my channel as I will upload daily updates to keep you ahead of the storm. And I do ask you to share this video with your friends and family on social media. All right, so let's get started. It is Wednesday, March the 3rd. How are you doing, everyone? Let me kind of go over some of the temperatures this morning. And it's actually not too bad across the U.S. I mean, we got 38 showing up in Dallas, 40 in Oklahoma City, and even down here in the southeast, I mean, 38, 42 degrees. So it's a cooler morning, but it's nice. It's nice for March for sure. And the Arctic air has retreated all the way up to the into Canada, where they're getting 20 below zero. So there's definitely some Arctic air when that filtered into the Northeast, but that has now retreated back up into Canada. But you can definitely see across the board, it's not too bad for March the 3rd. So, and even the entire U.S., I mean, there's actually not much going on. I mean, there's two systems that kind of stand out this morning. There's one way off to the extreme off in South Carolina. And we do have actually some much needed rain that's going to be pushing into Los Angeles, into San Diego today, but we're not talking much. I mean, even a quarter inch is grateful for you guys out there because it's been so dry, but that's actually going to be pushing in later on today and give you a little bit of beneficial rain for your area. But that upper level low will just extend further north. And as it does, it'll tap into some of that colder air aloft into the higher elevations. And that'll bring some more snow for you guys in places like Flagstaff. I think you're about 57 inches right now, and you're about 17 inches below normal. So that's going to bring some snow for you guys out there into the Four Corners regions. So there is going to be some snow around. It's just going to be in the higher elevations, say in Durango, Colorado, and getting into portions of New Mexico. But everywhere else, not too bad. I mean, as it goes into Thursday the 4th, I mean, it's pretty mild, or kind of a tranquil for the rest of the week, and it's nice. I mean, we deserve it, right? We've been through a lot the past several weeks. So as we go into Thursday morning, you can definitely see the milder temperatures just increase a little bit more down for the deep south. Down here in the Pacific Northwest, I mean, we're talking 30s, 35 degrees. Yeah, I mean, not too bad for that neck of the woods, and even up to the north. I mean, the colder air will retreat. I mean, 20s for Minnesota and Wisconsin, even into the Ohio Valley, and even into the far Pacific northeast. The only really kind of chillier frigid air in sight is well up to the north in Vermont, New Hampshire, getting into Maine. And that Arctic air has retreated even further up into southeastern Canada. So as we go into Friday, you can definitely see that same storm system still dumping some more snow into the mountains of Colorado. That'll bring some rain showers into Oklahoma, Kansas, Oklahoma, get into portions of far north Texas, into say the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but really north of you guys along the Red River, and that'll bring some rain extending into Arkansas by the time Friday comes around. And we do see another system coming in off the Pacific Northwest, bringing some more rain just right along the coast on Washington as well as Oregon. But up to the Northeast, I mean, predominantly not much going on, as that system's really well retreated up to the north. And by Friday morning, you can definitely see the temperatures even retreated, get a little bit milder down for the deep south. Really, they are not really Arctic air, but colder air as well to the north. I mean, 20s for the Ohio Valley, New York, possibly teens as you get upstate New York, even chillier. So there is some Arctic air around, but there's not terribly too much. I mean, we're talking upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, into Maine. Other than that, I mean, teens is definitely colder. So there'll be pulsing up and down with some colder temperatures as we go throughout the week. But a lot of times this is clear skies, light winds, and very, drier air mix it into the pattern. So, and then it warms up quick, throughout the day. So as we go into, Saturday morning, this is March the 6th now, you can definitely see that one system that was over Colorado and Oklahoma and Texas has since kind of phased off into the south, bringing, some rain, just rain showers, not terribly too much rain for well to the south in Louisiana. Get into the coastal regions of the panhandle of Florida, and you can definitely see where these blue bands are. I mean, the colder air would be in place over the Ohio Valley and into the Northeast, and as that one system pushes off into the Pacific Northwest, it will encroach and bring some more snow for you guys into the mountain regions of getting to northern portions of California, into Oregon, and to Washington. But yeah, really dry for the desert Southwest. So we just had that one system that came through earlier with some rain in Los Angeles. As this would continue moving through your Saturday morning temperatures by now the 6th, you can see the milder temperatures kind of really stay in place for the deep south, about 5 degrees, 10 degrees above normal for you guys out here. The colder air still in place for the Ohio Valley into the Northeast, getting into the Mid-Atlantic, retreating somewhat, again, far north of New England, keeping hold of those colder temperatures. And then you can see for the middle of the country, it's fairly dry and even getting warmer as we go throughout the week. In the Pacific Northwest as well, getting a little bit of warmer as we go into your weekend. So as we extend into Sunday, you can definitely see, I mean, there's not terribly too much going on as we go through your Sunday. It's fairly dry across much of the U.S. That one system that was coming in from the Pacific Northwest is going to bring some more snow for you guys in places like Idaho and Montana. But that's really the only game in town. I mean, there's not terribly too much going on for you for Sunday. And you can definitely see by that Sunday morning temperatures, that colder air will kind of be locked in place with that jet stream really lifted up in the midsection of the country. So you can definitely see the extremes trying to creep back in, and it's subtle at the beginning, but yeah, it's colder for the rest of the week for you guys in the Ohio Valley into the Northeast, with a little bit just drier air. I mean, it's colder in the mornings, but then it'll warm up during the afternoons. And then all the way down to the deep south, you can definitely see that doesn't really tap into. These are just milder temperatures, a little bit above average for your low temperatures on a Sunday. But as we go into Monday the 8th, I mean, this is kind of where we start to see a little bit of a transition phase. We start to see the colder air start to retreat into the Northeast, get definitely milder in the central part of the country. And then that's when it'll start turning colder again for you guys in the Pacific Northwest. You can definitely see this is kind of the last day of the colder temperatures that will be into the southeast. So that jet stream kind of really buckles. You see the kind of the buckling. We're trying to get that warm air pushing in from the south, and that'll just intensify as we go into next week. But that colder air will be still locked into place for the rest of the week for the Northeast into the weekend. And as you wake up on Monday morning, the 8th, it's still kind of hanging around for you guys into New England. So definitely some chillier air for the rest of the week, but then it turns milder for you guys as a complete 180 pattern flip starts next week. Then we can definitely see the PNA will go negative in the Pacific Northwest. A much more active pattern kind of really sets the stage, where we're bringing some heavier snows then into Oregon, into the mountains of California. That'll approach into Nevada. That'll start encroaching into Arizona, into Utah again, and to definitely Idaho, where you had that much needed break. You'll start having heavier snows by the time Tuesday comes around, March the 9th. And those heavier snows will just extend into Montana, and it'll eventually get into Wyoming. Then, of course, it'll eventually get into Colorado again. But you can definitely see the temperatures by Tuesday the 9th. I mean, it definitely starts to take a complete 180. The warm mix, the warmer temperatures only increase about 10 degrees in Texas, into Oklahoma, into Kansas. They increase a lot into the southeast, getting into the northeast. These teens and these below zero temperatures and teens are mixed with the 20s and 30s now, and that will only increase as we go throughout the week. But the colder air flips all the way to the west, and that'll bring some much colder temperatures and a much snowier pattern entering back into the Pacific Northwest. And you can definitely tell that the latest climate prediction center is kind of expecting the same thing as we go into next week. It's a complete 180, where the warmer temperatures will really start to take hold into the central and northeastern part of the U.S., and the much colder temperatures will take place out west, and that'll set the stage for a much snowier pattern for the Pacific Northwest. And eventually, as that colder air moves across and taps into this warm air, and that's going to set the stage for a much stormier pattern, unfortunately, with probably some severe weather by then, with all modes of severe weather taking place with that such an extreme temperature gradient. So we'll definitely have to be watching out for storms to start to develop by the 10th, 11th, and getting into the 12th time frame next week. As it moves across in the midsections of the country. But yeah, you can definitely see by Wednesday the 10th. I mean, that low, these colder temperatures just intensifies, and as it does, it's going to bring that heavier snows and pull it all the way down a little bit further now. More snow for you guys in Flagstaff, more snow for you guys in New Mexico, more snow in places probably like Denver, getting into Colorado, Utah, more in Idaho, more in Montana, and getting into Wyoming here, and this will eventually move into the Dakotas by the time Wednesday morning the 10th. And you can definitely see the temperatures by then. That just that southwest wind really starts to kick in. I mean, these are low temperatures where you were seeing the 38s this mornings in Dallas. Now you're seeing 64, so a good 30-degree temperature change, and your morning low. So that's not a good sign as colder air starts to encroach, and as that clash in temperatures, that's going to set the stage for a much stormier pattern for the midsections of the country, and that will just extend into the Ohio Valley and getting into the southeast, by the time as we get into mid to late week next week. But yeah, you can definitely see these milder temperatures are really starting to approach. We're not even freezing now in place, a lot of the places into the northeast. So definitely some milder temperatures, by the time next Wednesday morning comes around. And you can definitely see by Thursday, that low will just keep extending through the midsections of the country. You can almost see it now. Of course, this is a week away, but by then, this will probably really be lit up with possibly a severe thunderstorm. So that's definitely, you got a week to kind of prepare and kind of set the stage. So definitely enjoy the calm, enjoy what they say in weather, enjoy the calm before the storm, because right now we're enjoying the calm, peaceful, sunny days. But next week looks to definitely be a little bit more active, especially as we get into midweek next week, and more snow just flies for you guys in the Pacific Northwest. But yeah, you can definitely see by Thursday morning, those low temperatures just only increase for the south, and you can definitely see the clash in temperatures as that colder air will push from west to east throughout the week. And those cold temperatures will really cringe into the northwest, and those milder temperatures just really extend all the way up in Canada now. Where you were, dealing with 20 below zero this morning, now you're dealing with 40 degrees. So that's a good 60-degree temperature change just in the next 7 to 8 days. So yeah, it's a complete 180 pattern flip for you guys into the Northeast over the next 7 to 10 days. But yeah, you can look at the snow between now and say the 11th time frame. Much of this is next week, but like I mentioned, we do have that little bit of a system coming in for Thursday for like Flagstaff and, you know, places into Colorado. But a lot of the snow will fall next week, and it'll be some heavier snows by the time you know, next Monday rolls around. And even those, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, these snows will add up in a big way for a lot of you guys into the West and the Pacific Northwest. Much of the snow will be into the Dakotas, getting into portions of Canada, but you can definitely see with all that milder air in place for you know, the Ohio Valley and the Northeast, there's not much going to be snow. There's not much snow flying over the next 8 days. And here's your liquid precipitation. Again, there's not terribly too much going on this week. A lot of this falls next week as that storm system will approach into the midsection of the country, bringing some probably rain and storms into this area by the time, you know, Wednesday and Thursday of next week rolls around. And then, of course, the active West and the Pacific Northwest just really starts to get active again by the time Monday and Tuesday rolls around next week, and that'll bring a lot more snow for that area and to the Pacific Northwest. So definitely enjoy the calm before the storm, because next week it definitely looks like a little bit more active pattern ahead. So I appreciate you guys watching. Do like this video. Definitely leave your comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to catch the latest update where I protect you before and after the storm.